Good.
So before this series started, you said it might take a couple games to kind of figure out what style of hockey you need to play. What have you learned through the first 2 games of this series, and do you feel like you have a grasp on what it takes to win?
Yeah, I said that, having said that, I think we both had a really good handle on each other. I think we played each other enough. I've seen enough of this team. Jared's been the coach forever here, even back to when I was in San Jose. I think as advertised, great offensive team, a lot of game-breaking players at different positions, great special teams. So, I think pretty much what we've seen through the first 2 games is exactly that. And when we've been able to limit, those people and those situations, I think we give ourselves an opportunity to have success. And when we don't, when we were playing with the lead and backed off a little bit, when we took some penalties and let their power play change the momentum of the game, then it wasn't good. So that's on us to make sure going forward we learn those lessons.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Mike.
Any line changes?
No, same lineup.
And then, is there a difference on the road for deployment? You've been, pushing things around quite a bit in the playoffs. Does the road present any other opportunities or issues that could make you want to move guys around?
Yeah. I don't think anything to move guys around. I mean, you obviously lose that ability to have last line change, and they get that ability. So, I think you've got to be deep enough that you can trust people out there to get the job done regardless of what the situation is. And honestly, even at home, with the icing rule that you can't change on an icing, the other team gets those situations every once in a while anyway. So you don't get this far unless you're comfortable on the road, and we've been good on the road in those situations.
As
Hey, Pierre.
thinking, hey, Pete, specifically, obviously Chris Tanev and his deployment.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the road now, and I know in the past coaches have, had regrets about on the road, especially sometimes losing the rhythm of what they truly wanted to do. So what's the balance there?
Yeah, I've never been a big believer in chasing matchups. We rely on moving around. All our systems rely on moving around. The ice is a 5-man unit. Forechecking is a 5-man unit. Playing in the neutral zone, breaking out. You start pulling guys off the ice mid-shift in order to chase matchups. You lose that 5-man ability because of the line changes. I think we'll try and get the matchups that we're looking for. And if it doesn't happen, then, whoever ends up out there has to get the job done.
On one hand, these 2 games, there was a 3-0 lead and a 4-0 lead, and we saw Colorado come back in one, nearly do it in a second one. I'm sure that might alarm you or alert you a little bit, but on the other hand, you had a 3-0 and 4-0 lead in these games. How do you kind of balance those two?
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. I think the big positive is we were able to build 3 and 4-0 leads against a very good team. And there's obviously some learning lessons in how to manage those situations. I think the 2 games were different too, and the 2 leads were different. I think the 3-0 lead, probably wasn't as real as the number said. The 4-0 lead, I thought we played really, really well in game 2. So, sometimes you get what you deserve too. I thought we deserved to win game 2. We did. Game 1, I thought, the 3-0 lead was maybe a little bit of fool's gold, and, they ended up coming back on us. So we'll have to, I'm excited about putting our great road game up against the best home team in the league.
Hey, Pete, you've coached more than 120 playoff games. With your process, is it one of those things where you know what you want to do at all times, or is it always sort of fluid because every series, every player is different? And also, how do you manage it knowing that you've seen damn near everything?
Yeah. I'm old, right? I'm old. Experienced. Every playoff is different. I think as a coach, you try and, the foundation of your team, though, you can't change that at this time of year. I think you build that foundation all year, and then as the series goes on, depending on the team, you tweak it. I mean, Colorado presents different challenges than Vegas did. Vegas did some things really well. You know, Colorado does some things really well. They both have different areas you think you can expose. So, you know, I think the key is identifying that prior to the series starts and working on taking advantage of both those things, you know, as much as possible. And Jared's doing the same thing on his end.
Maybe you guys have added a bunch to the training conditioning staff this year. One, how much of an impact does that have? And two, could it be something that helps you as you
Yeah.
go into altitude for the next 2 games?
Yeah, we did. We added. Jim did a great job, I thought, in the off season, really upping the game of our off ice group there, particularly strength and conditioning and also in the analytics end of the medical and strength and conditioning. So I thought those guys have been great. You know, I think it's a direct result of our man games loss this year. You know, we were really good as far as injuries went. I think that's a big piece of that. So those guys deserve big credit for that.
In this, we always talk about
Yeah.
altitude. I don't know if they have any secrets or anything like that.
Yeah. I don't think there's any secrets. I think it's real though. I mean, you know, you're playing in altitude, and you hear the veteran guys on the team talking about shortening your shift length and, you know, not getting stuck out there, you know, in these situations, because that is real.
Coach, you mentioned Jared Bednar's tenure here, and you know, having coached against him a bunch. He's mentioned the respect he has for you. How fun is that for you as a coach to kind of be in a chess match with a coach like that?
Yeah, that's why we do this. You know, it's the best time of year. I absolutely love the playoffs. You know, you really coach all year for this. It's the only time all year you really get to concentrate on one team and their intricacies over a 7-game series. In the regular season, we don't get to do that. So, you know, that's my favorite part of coaching. And you know, we've got some great coaches left coaching if you look around the teams that are still standing here. So it's a great challenge.